Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. I'm Mr. Bologno, and today we're going to cover famous artist Vincent van Gogh. In my opinion, he is probably one of the most recognizable artists in the entire world. I am standing in one of his famous paintings called Starry Night. After we learn about him, you're going to do your own version of this famous painting. Next! Even though Van Gogh is probably one of the most famous artists in the entire world now, while he was alive, that wasn't the case. I found this clip on his life. We're going to watch it real quick, and then after we do that, you're going to follow along with my steps as we do our own version of the Starry Night.
This is the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam. People come to this museum from all over the world to admire the paintings of Vincent van Gogh. These days, Vincent is world famous, but when he was alive, hardly anyone knew his work. Do you want to know who he was? Take a journey back in time with us, and we'll tell you how Vincent became an artist. Vincent grew up in an exciting age, the age of the steam train. Vincent took the train to other countries. He didn't really know what he wanted to be, but fortunately, his brother Theo had a good idea. He wrote, "Vincent, you're good at drawing. Why not try something with that?" That was true. Vincent loved drawing. And painting? He could learn that, couldn't he? From that point on, Vincent knew what he wanted to be, an artist. He made a start. What he enjoyed most was drawing and painting the lives of ordinary folk, like this family of farmers, the potato eaters. He was proud of what he was doing, but others didn't like it one bit, but Vincent carried on regardless. He wanted to be a good artist and worked hard. He just kept on practicing and practicing, and then went to live with his brother Theo in Paris. There, he learnt a lot from other artists. They used lots of different colours. He liked that. Vincent began to paint with the same bright, cheerful colours. Bright reds, yellows, and blues. Vincent had little money, so he was careful with his paint. Before he started to paint, he put balls of wool together to see whether the colours looked good. See, we still have his box with the balls of wool. After a while, Paris became too busy for Vincent, and there was no one who wanted to buy his paintings. He moved further south, towards the sun and the light, to the colours. In the south of France, Vincent painted the colours of the corn, of the night, and the sea. Vincent looked very closely at the sea. After all, the sea was not just blue, it was made up of many more colours. Green, purple, blue, pink. The sea changes colour like the skin of a mackerel. Vincent wanted to paint life the way he saw it and felt it. He talked about that with others, but not everyone could understand that. What should be in a painting? Something that you can picture in your head? Or something that's there, before your eyes? Vincent sometimes even had arguments about that. That made him miserable. It made him unhappy. He became ill and confused. Very confused indeed. Have you heard the story of how he came to cut off his own ear? Luckily, there was a hospital where they could take good care of him. It was a difficult time, but he kept working when he could. He created very beautiful paintings, like this one for his newborn nephew. Once he was feeling a little better, Vincent moved to the countryside, near Paris. All he did was paint and paint. But even then he wasn't happy. His troubles came back. He was a determined and curious go-getter, and in his work he never gave up. What he can teach us is that you should do what you're good at. For Vincent, that meant drawing and painting. And you? What are you good at?
Now I'm going to start my own Starry Night, so do your best in following along. First step is to draw the horizon line. If you ever need to pause, you will see the pause icon on the top left-hand corner. Next, draw the tall cypress tree on the left-hand side of your landscape. I'm now going to draw the moon and the stars. I think 8 to 10 stars work best, and all I'm doing is simply drawing little circles. Van Gogh was known for using a lot of lines and paint strokes within his artwork. So you'll see that I am drawing little dashes around each of the stars and even around my crescent moon. I would like for you to try and do that as well. I think it's important to now add swirly lines in the sky to represent the wind. Van Gogh was known for adding all kinds of lines that show movement in his work. I'm adding short lines in all the spaces within the sky so that it's all balanced out. I even include these dashes on the cypress tree. The next step is to create any city you want on the bottom right-hand corner of your landscape. I started out with basic shapes like triangles, rectangles, and squares, and then I started adding more details so they look like three-dimensional buildings. One of the details I added was the Downers Grove Water Tower. I wanted my city to resemble the town that I teach in. After I drew all the details in pencil, I then took a whole bunch of my markers and started carefully outlining with a variety of colors. Once you're done outlining, make sure to send your work to your art teacher on Seesaw, and we will use any coloring supplies next week. For mine, I'm thinking about using my fancy oil pastels to finish it up. That wraps up part 1 of the Vincent van Gogh Starry Night lesson. Thanks for following along. Now remember, kids, don't forget to turn in this part to your art teacher. They will be happy to help you if you have any questions at all. You can always contact them on Seesaw. And remember, we'll finish this up next week. All right, take care, everyone. Bye.